Greetings, everyone. This is me, Edward Nomren from It Pays to Fear God, and welcome to another episode of Verse Breakdown. The verse that I'm going to be breaking down for you viewers today is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 23, where God himself had stated, "I have sworn by myself, the word has gone out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear." I have sworn by myself is a statement of God because he is by himself and he is the ultimate God of gods and Lord of lords. If we read Psalm chapter 95 verse 3, Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verses 16 and 17, and 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verses 5 and 6, and even Psalm chapter 82 verse 6. As a result, if he wants to make a vow, if he wants to swear, he has nobody to do it to because you don't swear to subordinates, so he would do it to himself. Then the concept of the word has gone out of my mouth in righteousness and shall not return doesn't mean that he physically says something and then it comes to pass. If you look at the ecclesiastical history, he would send prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Zechariah, Jonah, etc. And in our time, the saints or the apostles sent by Jesus Christ, of course. And whatever they preach is like fire, and the people that they're preaching to would, if they're sinful, and it will devour them, as God told Jeremiah, because he was a prophet who would do such a thing in Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 14. And then the last part is, unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear. This statement might be familiar to us because of how it was said in the New Testament, but generally it's submission. Physically, it could happen that somebody would kneel down. If you look at when people like King David, Joshua, etc. had defeated people, they might have bowed down to show submission, even like John had done in Revelation chapter 22 and verses 8 to 9. But the angel said, no, you cannot do that because it is only God who is allowed to have such submission done to him. It's essentially total submission, whether it's forced or whether it's voluntary. If you look at the story of Jonah, in Jonah chapter 3 from verses 4 to 9, when Jonah had preached to them saying, this is going to be broken down in 40 days and stuff like that, they said, oh, this is true. And then they were in sackcloth and stuff, and they showed submission. That is voluntary submission. What he did to Nebuchadnezzar and to Pharaoh was not, because they were not willing to repent. If we read Exodus chapter 7 to 12, we see how he wanted to prove to God that my gods are what I know. I don't know you, Lord, whoever you think you are. But he proved himself by fulfilling the prayers of the Israelites in Exodus chapter 2 from verses 23 to 25 by using 10 plagues to shake the whole place up. And yes, in the end, he was proved powerful. If we read Exodus chapter 9 verse 16. And not only that, but Pharaoh himself acknowledged that you guys are righteous and I and my people are wicked. Exodus chapter 9 and verses 27 and 28. And if we look at the story of Nebuchadnezzar, it's the same thing. Nebuchadnezzar was very reluctant, very stubborn to listening to God. But when he made him like an ox for 7 years in Daniel chapter 4, he was like, who can question God? Who can ask God, what doest thou? What are you doing? Because of that. That is the submission. However, if we have read the Bible at all, especially the New Testament, we would have known that Jesus Christ had also gotten that honor in Philippians chapter 2 from verses 5 to 11. But why? Well, it's because of what Jesus Christ is doing in our time. First of all, he paid the ransom sacrifice, and God felt that that was very important, and he needed to be blessed for that, if we read Isaiah chapter 53, verse 10. But more importantly, in our time, he is battling nations. He is making people submit to him. If we read Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break into pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Because he is doing all that, because he is the conqueror, the person with many crowns on his head because of all his defeats. If we read Revelation chapter 19, verse 12, ultimately, he sends out saints. If they listen to the gospel message, the judgment is in their favor, but if they don't, they're going to be judged accordingly. And that was why if we read Romans chapter 14 from verses 10 to 12, St. Paul had told us that all of us are going to go under Jesus Christ for judgment. And if we read Psalm chapter 72 verse 11, David the psalmist talking about what Jesus Christ was going to be doing and how people were going to submit unto him, had stated, yea, all kings shall fall down before him, all nations shall serve him. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to people who are interested in this similar topic. And if you learned something new today, leave it in the comments, as we always enjoy hearing such things. And if you have a new verse that you'd want us to explain, drop it in the comments, and we'll be more than ready to make a future video of it. Thank you for listening.